Live, I thought Dave was being burglarized. Oh my God, was that a scene?
It was almost until we were almost going to go live until 5:01.
Right. Oh, here we go.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Late Late Horror Show. I'm Dino. That is Dave. He does not trust women carrying parasols.
Don't go following them into the African jungle.
We are going to be talking about the Wild Wild West, Season 1, Episode 4, The Night of the Sudden Death. And this is somewhat like the Dangerous Game, the old classic movie.
It is exactly that with Albert Lancaster.
Yes, it's with what's his name? Trevor what's his name? Robert Loggia. Robert Loggia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So boy, in that theme, every time I hear that it's ingrained in my head as a child. Let me say hi to everybody here. Edward Stewart, what's going on? Auntie Love is here. Auntie Love.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Auntie Love. John McKee. We are here every Sunday talking something, whether it's Kolchak, Wild Wild West, Art Bell, Paranormal, Columbo, you name it. John McKee, Tune the News, Sweet Indigo, what is going on? Ed Stathis might be just watching. He's not here, but he's watching. He's watching. He's moving. He's looking. He's going to, yeah. JLR, what's going on? Good to see you. Connie. Did I miss anybody? Well, that's it. Small group. Adam for Christ. Good to see you. Very good episode. There's a couple things we'll be talking about for sure. That is just like, oh, and we get Dave for. I mean, it's rarely that we get him in 4K. Look, I mean, this is clear. We can see like everything.
That's not good.
No, I'm not. Listen, no, it's very clear. It's 4K. Wow.
All right. Well, the one thing too, when you had mentioned that it reminds you of your childhood, it definitely reminds me of my childhood as well. Because here it would be on TV. I'm not sure if it was Saturday or Sunday, but
Saturday for us, yeah.
Okay, probably Saturday here then as well. And it was one of the few things, that like my dad would stop work and we'd watch Wild Wild West together.
Yes. Well, I didn't have a parent watching with me, but the TV was always on with me and my brothers and sisters, and they were in reruns. I mean, come on, But yeah, Saturday was. Hey, Becca Tutall, what's going on? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? Make sure you check out Dave's just a link below to his channel, where he does his gardening and all that. If you haven't already, please do that. Michael Rodriguez, what's up? Did start doing some streaming, did kind of a test stream with the Legos, Dave, putting together this baby right here, the Dark Tower. Little bit different than anything like this. It was a little chilled back, and I was playing some old time radios as I took my breaks and stuff. So it was kind of cool.
I was amazed at how far Legos have come.
Oh God, yeah.
I have the 70s Legos, like the city, the police station, the hospital, a couple of the cool cars.
Yeah.
And then when I started getting a little bit I shouldn't say too old for Legos, but we had just gone into the space Legos. So we had like Galaxy Cruiser, we had a couple space stations and the pads with the moon craters and stuff like that. And then that was it. Then I turned 13, 14 and I kind of gave it up. And I am amazed at all of the sets.
Oh God, all the techniques, all the detail that they put into all of these things. I mean, it's amazing. But nothing wrong with the classic sets, but that it wouldn't even fit in the cities that we do now and stuff like that, because they look just so out of date. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Oh my God, everybody's leaving. Let's start talking about Wild Wild West. um, we get a couple of lookers in here, and Corinne and
Oh,
Colburn.
God bless America.
Really think what is going on? I don't think that's a copyright song or nothing.
Hold
It's just a
on.
ringtone. Yeah. So this is the dangerous game. Basically, I think I was saying also that there is an element, a couple elements in here that are just hard to believe that happened, and we'll talk about it as we go through the episode. But I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about. It's just like, come on, real life, come on. But
This is television.
I know. Ed Stathis. Oh, he can do the emojis. Okay, there you go. Oh God, what else did I want to say? I loved the fact that Artemis was a clown in here, and
I didn't.
really, I know you didn't. I love clowns, and he looked like a really cool, scary-looking clown. I mean, he was scary. I understand why clowns are scary because looking at him, I'm like going, "Ooh, man, could you imagine waking up to that, looking at you, and as you wake up?" I mean,
That would be very scary. Yeah, he would give it a run for its money. And I will say that I don't like clowns and I don't like circuses.
really? Okay, I was going to say the one thing I kind of. Well, it was different. I mean, seeing them go straight into like a circus setting
Uh-huh.
was really weird, and we didn't get a chance to see the train in this one.
I actually wrote a note down saying exactly that.
Yeah, they
There
were
was
fixing it or something.
a lot less steampunk in this episode.
Yes.
It was just very much Wild Wild West on location.
Yeah, more jungle adventure circus type feel. Yeah, it was just totally different than what we've seen. I mean, this is only the 4th episode, but
True.
very interesting. Yeah, and there is a little bit more of an interaction between Artemis and Jim too.
That is good.
Yeah, I did enjoy seeing that. Just a little bit more. It's almost your Kolchak and Vincenzo type thing going on here,
Yes. And I will say I cannot wait for an upcoming episode with Sammy Davis Jr.
For Columbo or no? Oh, Sammy Davis Jr. in Wild Wild West. Yes,
Right.
yeah.
He plays in The Night of the Headless Horseman.
Okay. Night of the Headless Horseman, which is going to be, well, I don't got the list up here.
It's going to be much later.
Okay, so later in the season. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Andrea. What's going on? Good to see you. Becca Tutal, my dad introduced me to all kinds of Westerns. Love the spaghetti Westerns because of my dad, and nobody in Trinity loved Bonanza, the Rifleman, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, Becca Tutal. I never got into, there was a small period of time where I got into like Bonanza and some of the Westerns on TV, but I just was more of a Little Rascals, Laurel and Hardy, all those other things on TV, so, that.
Let me tell you,
Yes.
growing up, I hated right around noon to 1 o'clock in the afternoons for the summer because that's when they played Bonanza.
Okay. Rest in, yeah, you're slowing down there a little bit. You're going in slow mo. We spoke too soon. Rest in peace, Sid Haig. We've lost so many people this past week or two. A lot of people. What's his name just passed away from Clue?
Oh, Maul.
Colonel Mustard.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name.
Wasn't it Richard Maul?
Richard, yes.
No.
Richard Mall?
Martin Maul.
Martin Mall. There we go. We know our stuff. Yeah. He just passed away at 80. I don't know how old Sid Haig was. I think he was in his 70s, probably.
You might keep me off the station, but I don't remember who Sid Haig is.
He played in a lot of the like Rob Zombie movies, like Halloween. He played in mostly in horror movies. So you would definitely see him, notice his face from that. So anyways, Martin Mall. And I don't know who else. Listen, we're not here to talk about who passed away. The list of deaths this week. The doctor is here. Hello from Puxatawney, Pennsylvania. How's that woodchuck doing? You guys go and
I
talk
was
to him?
say hello to Phil.
Yeah. Tell him we said good luck. Hopefully he's eating plenty. Well, no. Hopefully he's starving so that he comes out earlier and stays out so he can keep eating and we get an early spring. But we're right in the middle of summer. So what am I talking about, Dave?
Right in the middle of the Wild Wild West.
The Clown in a House of 1,000. Yeah, House of 1,000 Corpses is definitely the one you'd know him from.
Okay.
If you've seen him. But anyways, yeah, let's start talking about this. Boy, it was slightly over average. I mean, there were some things to like about it and some things not.
IMDb has it as a 7.4. And
I think too high.
It did put it, I think, October 1965.
Okay. Yeah, I think they put it just a little too high, but that's just me.
No, I'd agree. I think it's 6.5 to 7 for me.
Okay, yeah, right about there. Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah. It also, okay, so starting right off with this episode here, and give us thumbs up too if you like that. I'm not asking for comments no more. I don't get any. But well, it'd be nice to hear from you guys after the show, comment or something.
100%.
Love this show from childhood, the doctor says. Good to have you here. But it starts right off with these ninjas in black masks and outfits. They look kind of like somewhat like the old serials, if you know what I'm talking about, like from the early 30s and stuff.
Yeah.
Like from Flash Gordon and so, I don't know. They had this weird vibe to them where they, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know 100% what you're saying. It was almost like the monkeys in Wizard of Oz. It was kind of like they were really creepy. They worked together. They were intricate. It's almost like a transformer that would come back together to make, to get the job done. They were just, and basically these are circus performers, acrobats, tumblers. And it's just like one jumps on another person's shoulder. And I don't think I liked it because of how silent it was.
Yes. Okay. Edward Stewart. I'm sorry. Sid Haig passed away in 2019. Yeah, that's why I thought so. I was wondering, why did you bring that up now? He has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. Or were we talking about Sid Haig? Anyways, it doesn't matter. But thanks for the information. 4 or 5 years too late, but oh my God, I thought he just passed away. Anyways, yeah, it was very odd, like you said. But in how Trevor, he's a big game hunter that runs the circus. He's your Marlon Brando, if you will, of the island. Anyways, disregard that. But he somehow has all these circus performers willing to give their life for him and all that. I guess he got all the criminals together and they're in the circus. Yeah,
I guess.
Because they're already willing to kill for him.
It is. I do think there should have been maybe a little bit more backstory as to why they wanted to do this. And the theme of the episode is that Robert Loggia wants to buy a tremendous amount of property in Africa to have an African safari.
Yes.
And in order to do that, he needs money. So why not steal money? But he does it in such an interesting way.
Yes. This reminded me of a Honeymooners episode, because there was a Honeymooners episode where they stole the plates to print money up. Okay. It was called Funny Money was the name of the episode. You guys. Hello, Aaron Clements. What's going on? Good to see you. What's up, y'all? But yeah, they do it in a strange way. Okay, so let's set the scene. It's all dark and foggy out again, and you got the black streets, and you got this brick building, and it's evidently the Mint to Carson City.
It is, yeah, it is the Carson
Yep.
City Mint. And so right next to the Carson City Mint is this really cool flickering gas light. And I loved what they did. They basically tumbled right up to it, got
Mhm.
up, turned, and the guy's like
Ninja.
knocking off the light and
Yeah.
then putting a hose onto that, while more ninjas are going up to the mint and they're basically feeding that tube of gas into the mint to knock out all the mint workers.
You notice though, okay. Okay, here's the first. I don't know who was
I
fact
100%
check.
agree already.
I know. I wasn't. I was wondering who's fact checking all of this stuff that was happening during this episode, because here's number one. Okay,
All right.
as they're climbing up, and like they've said, with the gas that's coming out, okay, it's going to leave out CO2, of course, but there's a group of people down there working in the mint, and the security guard goes over and opens up to get some fresh air coming in there, and the hose actually that they put over the windows all the way open, okay, and the tubes are only inserted in the room like 6 inches into the area there, and it's, you know what I mean, and almost immediately people start dropping dead people. They're
Well,
dropping.
they're not dead. They're just asphyxiated temporarily.
Well, I think they were all dead when the coroner.
They're all going to die because the guy lets off a bomb.
Is that what gets them then? The bomb
so
gets
this just
them.
knocks
Okay.
them out.
Okay. So it's okay. So it just knocks them out at the beginning here, and the bomb is what gets them, because he does come back later when they're inspecting, and he goes, "Yeah, looks like, yeah, I don't know how it would have done that, but yeah, here's the," because he's knocking on the gas pipe and all that. But yeah, they jump in ninja style. Listen, I loved it. But go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
Are you ready for my number one problem?
Sure.
Right there. Why is the mint working late?
Oh, that's true too.
It's like middle of the night. I'm like,
Overtime.
it's the government. They get to go home at 5. But no, we're working extra to make sure we have enough money.
This was set when? Late 1800s, right? I mean,
yeah, 1865, Reconstruction after the Civil War.
Okay, Don Gray, hello. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make no sense that they're working so late. Officiated, dead. Becca Tuta, good one. Yeah, well, it was just confusing because I'm sitting there going, and I was puzzled by, the gas, and the guy outside. You think he would have fell over by, oh my God.
You would think, and wouldn't the gas go up? I mean, it's not propane. Propane would go down.
Right.
But this, I think, would just naturally go up out of the window. Again,
Yeah.
it just looks the same. Everyone's knocked out, and there is a pile of cash, millions of dollars, on this table next to them.
They don't steal it.
Exactly, and they're not stealing it. Although one guy goes, "Ooh, look at that," and he starts to grab it, and the other guy goes, does his best Planet of the Apes ape that doesn't talk, and says, "No, don't take the money. We're interested in something more. We want the plates."
Yeah.
Because they can steal the plates, and what they do is replace them with counterfeit, so that the mint is then going to print counterfeit money, and basically it's going to ruin the U.S. economy.
Yeah, it allows them to use those plates to, get the money out as they wish. And but later when the police, I mean, who would you call them? The sheriff and all that come in, or the government, the U.S. Marshals.
U.S. Marshals. There we go.
There you go. Trying to find the words. Hold on, while I belch. Okay, here I go.
Thank you.
He comes in and he goes, I don't know who was looking at it, but he goes, "Yeah, it's funny they didn't take their money, but yeah, these plates, I can tell that they're made of a different alloy, that our other plates are. So it's a very ingenious plan that they would steal the plates and not the money." But yeah, no, it was very interesting, and it is a different feel than once we get to the circus, because then it's this jungle adventure. And they're in Carson City too. Where's the circus? Where's the people go? I don't understand. That was another thing I was wondering. I'm like, there's a circus in town, Dave.
Yes, there is.
Where's the people?
But you saw the parade of the circus coming to town. There were a whole bunch of people.
Good
It's Carson City.
At the very beginning when Jim went into the hotel.
Right.
But once at the circus, it's like, listen, I know maybe you just got off hours. I don't know, but there was nobody.
They got nobody else, and the circus isn't going to start for another week, they said.
Yes. Okay. So I can see that they're just getting things ready and stuff. Although they seemed ready to me. Why they would take another week, I don't know.
What was weird is that they arrived really quickly, and it was an already like compound. I mean, they had fences, they had wild game preserves, they had this big tent where they're going to interact with foreign dignitaries.
Oh yeah. Lots. And they also made the set look like it was like almost. I think they were so much into the dangerous game aspect of this.
Yes.
That because even towards the end when they were running around through, it looked like they were running around trying to escape an island. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. IWTF horror and sci-fi.
Screenshot for my memory, the doctor says. I don't know what that means, but
I don't either, but I think Sinatra sang that.
For my what? For my screenshot for my memory. WTF horror and sci-fi, what's going on? Hey y'all, Wild Wild West. Yo. Yo. Hit that thumbs up button if you care too. So yeah, Dave.
I do think it's interesting to think about everyone showing up for like a parade of the circus coming to town. I don't really remember that when the circus was here in the major cities, because we had both Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, and we had one other circus that would occasionally come by. I can't remember the name right now, but it would like be at the major venues like the Forum or the Staples Center. We didn't have.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing that sucks. We look at these circuses all through our, in these old movies and stuff like that. That's the circus, or even the 50s. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? But you don't get that. You get it in like a arena or something like that, and it's not what you wish for. Instead, you get these little carnivals. Maybe you get them there too. That these people ride from town to town and set up really quick these little carnivals that fit into like church parking lots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those are people who have lived the circus, they're living the circus life, and you could tell they are. That's all I'll say. But it's
the life of a vagabond, I guess.
Yeah. A hobo. Yeah, traveling all. I mean, it looks cool. And there's all their little campers around there and stuff, and they bring out their own thing for games and all. It's kind of cool.
What's interesting is I enjoyed going to fairs, and the people who run the booths at fairs, like not the rides or anything like that, but like the plumerias, like you can buy different color plumeria cuttings. They go all the way around like the world, and they're like home or the US, and they're only home like a couple weeks at a time, and they're buying and transacting, and then they're just on the road living in a trailer pretty much.
Yeah. It's interesting what goes on at, like you said, a lot of these fairs and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, Jim's going into, after all of this, and he knows about the plates and stuff like that. Circus coming into town, he goes to the hotel.
I love the hotel.
Yes, the hotel's beautiful, especially the ninja up in the corner.
Well, that I think you have to pay extra for. But
up in the corner of the room, the ceiling.
To me, I wrote down the hotel is really no different than any of the brothel scenes, because you walk in and you have like a person at the front desk. Off to the side, you have like your saloon area, and then upstairs, you literally walk up the stairs, and there's a series of doors. And outside the doors, there's a little hallway, and then a railing, and then it's you look over and see the ground floor. I absolutely love this hotel.
Again, yeah, me and Dave, we should be millionaires because, well, millionaires, maybe a billionaire, I don't know.
Multi-millionaires.
Yeah, because the things we would love to do, because yeah, I would like an old saloon. If
Well,
I was like, I would buy this, like, I would make like a stadium size like complex, and there would be structures like a mall, and then there would be rooms that are from decades and stuff like. There would be a saloon that I could go to, you know what I mean? Because I just love with the old wood, and you walk up to the room. It would just be so cool, Dave. There's so many things.
I,
I
I
would.
I would come and visit.
I,
I would say in the 80s part of your mall, I would suggest creating some of those little robots that'll do the self-cleaning and everything that end up
oh,
being murderous at the end.
shopping mall, yeah. Oh, it would, I mean, the things I would do, like when I see the lotto get up to like what is it, like 500 million or 700 million, I'm like going, oh, people are going to invest that, buy their home, and sit back and no, I want to build myself this complex that is going to have all the greatest things ever in it. And maybe there are some places out there like that. We just don't hear about it, right?
Maybe.
I don't know, man, but yeah,
Oprah's probably got something like that.
I would love to do that. Anyways, Jim comes to the hotel, and again, that guy, that ninja, and again, they're so interestingly dressed.
Yeah. Even
It's
their pants had a little loop around their boots.
I don't know what they were trying to go for. It was almost a mix between ninja, or I'd have to do like research on what, maybe some criminals had like look like back in the Western. I don't know. I don't think they were even uh, doing any research on that. They just looked very interesting. But he was up there and he was stuck to the corner in a way. And when Jim came in, he plopped down and attacked them.
He did, but I loved like when Jim West was like throwing stuff on his bed, getting his stuff put away. He just kind of looked over his shoulder, like
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Something's
Mhm.
watching me, and then sure enough, just like a spider on the ceiling.
Well, and then a fight ensues. I guess I should show my mug. My daughter gave me this for Father's Day. World's best farter. Oops, I mean father. I thought that was kind of cool. Not that I'm always, yeah, maybe I am. I don't know. Anyway, beans and potatoes. Anyway, a fight ensues, and this guy, I guess his superhuman ability is, at the carny is is his legs wrapping around the midsection of Jim and crushing him because
Yeah.
his legs are so powerful.
Yep.
What's that good for at the carnival?
I have no idea. The only thing I thought it was good for, I can't say on this air, but we do see him
What is
at
that? The high. What's that? Oh, that's a woman's thing where they build up muscles. It's the Hegel. Anyways, okay, let's go past that. Anyways, yeah, I didn't get it. Go ahead, Dave.
yeah, but we do see him bend like this metal bar in the circus compound when Jim West is investigating.
Once he gets to that circus compound, which is coming up real quick here.
But luckily, the
Oh,
guy escapes. He breaks out of the
Hegel. There you go. Thanks,
chokehold,
WT.
and the guy
Hegel.
scampers out the window. But he doesn't like jump down. He actually like jumps over and slithers like like Spider-Man on a building. And Jim West runs to the door, opens it up, and there's this beautiful girl
Corin.
that made up for the whole show.
Yes. Corin was, and how she acted. She was a damsel in distress, and I wanted to pick her up and hold her and beat the hell out of Trevor.
I agree.
I wanted to take her under my wings and fly away, like the great vampire I am.
Thank you, Lestat.
You're welcome. So yeah, but he throws her in on a bed, and she's telling a story like, I don't really know nothing. Please go visit my father at the hospital. And it ends up not being his father, but she says, talk to him. He'll know everything. And he turns for a second and she's gone.
Yeah.
So I guess she was coming there to warn him. I mean,
I'm not sure what she was there for.
yeah.
And I didn't know if she was good person or bad person at this point. I just knew she was beautiful and I would have followed her. But now Jim West runs to the hospital to see her dad,
Yeah.
who was from what I understand, the crooked security guard that opened up the windows to let the gas and the
Out. I mean, in.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we walk upstairs with the doctor. We try to open the door, but the door is locked. And he's all, move away, doctor. And
The doctor goes, Jim, I don't know what I'm doing here. He's going to die in 5 minutes.
Pretty much. And he goes, we got to hurry. And so Jim West casually kicks the door in, and we find that he is basically mummified like a cocooned butterfly.
Yeah, the sheet. He's like wrapped in the sheet.
It's like when it goes through the dryer and it wraps up with other clothes.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah. Or a killer maid came in to, and that's her way of killing, by tucking him in with the sheet, to death. Like, tuck, no tuck. You go to the hotel, Dave. Do you get the tuck or the no tuck?
It's the no tuck. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a no tuck too. I don't like my feet. See, my feet sticking straight up, they're going to cramp, after a while. Pressure down on your foot. You're like, oh no, it's cramping. Wake me up. But yeah. So all he gets out of the guy in the bed, her father supposedly, but isn't her father. He just says, Corinne is death, something like that.
Yeah, if you meet Corinne, you're gonna meet death. Something like that. I expected him to say Rosebud, but he didn't.
Rosebud. Yeah, and that's really it. That's all that really happens there. I mean, nothing else really happened, right? Am I wrong? And then they go to the circus.
No, not quite yet. There's one little cut scene where they're back at the hotel. He meets up with Artemis, and they're going to have drinks.
Oh, yes. This is where I said I love the way they sat down. They're going to have some drinks at a saloon.
Yep.
Good old cowboy saloon, like I was talking about to Dave. I don't think I would pick that one. I would pick something out of like Deadwood. That was such a great series. I don't know if you ever seen it. It's an HBO series, Deadwood. It took you right back to the Old West. Oh, it was so good. But they're sitting in the saloon getting ready to drink, and a waitress comes over, gives them drink, and they're having a couple laughs, and I like that between Artemis and Jim.
I did. I liked it. It was very personal. I thought they were going to drink, with curling arms together, and I love the look that the waitress gave them, like, hey, I'm available type of thing. And as she walks away, she gives a glance over her shoulder, and then Artemis or Jim say, hey, this smells like, almonds.
Yeah. So then Artemis says, like, go ahead. Acid.
Right. Brassic acid. Yeah. But it just sent me back, excuse me, to Sherlock Holmes and the House of Fear, when they're all like, bitter almonds. And then they're all, oh my gosh, cyanide, type of thing. So
always reminds me of arsenic and old lace too, always with the almond. And I remember watching that as a kid, and J.O.B. Ouch, sounds like this episode should have been called 9. Listen, it wasn't bad. It was okay. There were just some outlandish things that took place in a different kind of place, a circus and all that. It was just a little out of sorts. Ed loved Deadwood. Pop said, yep. It's a great show. My husband loved Deadwood. Ian McShane was awesome in that show. Yes, he was. I hated when Deadwood was over. Anyways, and then they tried to do some kind of comeback thing, and I'm like going, oh no, it's too late. When you capture the gold, you keep going with it. But yeah, what was I saying now then? The poison,
Poisoned, bitter almonds,
bitter almonds, yeah. Oh,
arsenic in
yeah,
our place.
yeah, it when I was a kid, because I remember the bitter almonds from like the movies like that, like Arsenic and Old Lace and stuff. The rest of my life, I would always associate the smell of almonds with with arsenic.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, okay. Like eating a cookie, like, I mean, I know it's a good cookie. But I'm go, and immediately I'm thinking arsenic and Old Lace, But I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
I know.
But my mind of, anyways, almonds a trigger. The doctor. What? Outlandish, you say? Glad Deadwood had a proper ending. Yeah, it did, but then they tried to rehash some stuff. And anyways, so yeah, that happens, and then they run after the waitress, and she's gone.
Oh yeah. But she runs by a sign that says Corinne, and she is the bareback rider on
At the
this
circus.
horse. So then we're going to head off to the circus compound.
Yeah.
And they've got like full on fort, right? I mean, you can't get in, you can't get out. There's these doors and everything like that that's locked. But Jim West walks in, and immediately, everyone starts to look at him. But I wrote down what a fun set that would have been, because you had miniature elephants cruising around, you had lions, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, again, the circus element I thought could have been really, really cool. I mean, if they
Yeah,
would have, again, I harken back to like the old stuff, like Freaks and stuff like that. And you would have liked to have seen some lady with a beard and all that, and some odd circus things. You know what I mean?
right.
And you didn't get that.
You had one dwarf taking care of the elephant.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there wasn't too much even about that, but it was mostly thugs that were kept running around, chasing Jim, and once he figured things out and stuff like that. But yeah,
The thing is, right from the beginning, there's no guess as to who stole the plates. There's no,
right.
I mean, it's just very
No
frontal.
setup.
Yeah, it's just like, look, we know you took it. Why don't you just give them back? We know you guys are thieves and, gypsies or whatever, talk about a bad stereotype. But
I don't even think they even got any information on who the person was that stole, but somehow it led him to the circus
right.
through Corinne, because she was, yeah, it just was very odd.
Yeah, she was the link. And then we do meet Robert Loggia and his girlfriend, Janice.
Janet Coburn.
Well,
What?
Corinne,
What's going on?
Corinne's on the circular thing. They've got her strapped down. And Robert Loggia is shooting her with arrows.
Well, not shooting her, but shooting at her. She's spinning on a wheel,
Right.
one
Like
of
a
those
roulette
things.
wheel. And there's
Yeah,
no
like it's either the knives or, in his case, bow and arrow, and he's shooting it right at the numbers. And he goes 7, and shoots it at a 7. And she looks like she's drugged or something up there, but she's just scared, I guess.
Oh, totally. Totally.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna kill her one way or another.
Yeah, and Janet Coburn
Janet Coburn, played
is
by Antoinette Bauer, and we have seen her in a very important role in Columbo. Did you know who it was?
Oh boy.
Because keep in mind,
No.
Columbo is about 7 years later, 8 years later. I
Okay.
thought she was very babylicious in this episode.
Yes, she was very sexual.
Yes.
She was constantly like this close to Jim, and breathing on him, and like her bosom to chest. You know what I mean? A lot of that going on. And I'm going, boy, she wants Jim.
She does.
Yeah.
That is Frances Gillespie. That is Dick Van Dyke's wife that he ties up and shoots in that Columbo double negative, I think it's called.
Okay. Okay, very
And,
cool.
she's this frumpy, rich housewife who wants to go to an auction and, makes fun of things that Paul Galesko wants to buy. And
Yes,
she
yes,
gets killed.
yes, yes.
So,
Dick Van Dyke, who is, I think, 98, maybe something like that. Can't believe Dick
Yippee
Van.
Day. Yep.
Man, unbelievable. Him and Carol Burnett, they were both on.
I
She's
saw
not
that.
quite that old.
Yeah, she's 91, 92.
Yeah, somewhere around there, and I'm just like, holy heck, man. I hope I can see the 90s.
I do wish Mary Tyler Moore was still alive.
Yeah, yeah, of course we would like that, but okay, so they're doing all of that thing, and then Jim kind of enters the scene. They take Corinne off of the spinning wheel and commence what's going on there with the interaction between Jim and Trevor and Corinne's doing most of the talk. Not Corinne, Janet
Yeah.
Coburn
Yes.
is doing most of the talking for Trevor. And he's like, oh, and it's funny how the tiger kind of feels that Jim entered the circus, and the tiger immediately started, roaring.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Either
interesting.
that or he had some bad Chinese food.
The tiger?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. That would do it.
It would.
Gee, yeah. Boy, I tell you. Okay, I could go for some sweet and sour chicken right about now.
Really, for me, honey glazed shrimp.
Honey. Oh, that sounds good too,
Yeah.
Dave. Yeah. Oh boy. Honey almond. We got a honey almond shrimp at what's it called? Panda Express is what it's called.
Okay.
You have that over where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, they're pretty good.
I can't complain.
Except for the fact that, like most companies, when they start to get a little bit bigger, they used to make up the teriyaki and sweet and sour sauce fresh in this big bin that would stay in the warmer inside where all the other food is.
Yeah.
So that, like, if you get something, you could get a scoop of the teriyaki sauce, all of it. They stopped that, I guess, because I have no idea. And instead, they give you the packets. She goes, it's the
Yeah.
same
That's
thing.
no good.
Yeah, she goes, it's the same thing. Exactly what we make. I go, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. That stuff's thick, sweet, warm, and good. This is not. But you can't tell them. They're just working there. It comes down from the top. But I tell you, things that irritate me in life is when you really find some good food and they stop production on certain things. And I'm a sauce man, damn it.
Are you?
Yes, I need sauces of all kinds. Like if it comes to the sweet and sour, oh man, is that dish getting sweet and sour?
Are you the same with chicken?
Yes, yes. I have several different bottles that are specific to Pampered Chef of all places. They have like this sweet and sour sauce, a sweet chili, a sweet onion, and the teriyaki honey to die for. And whenever I'm in mine for whatever flavor, that's what well, however I make my chicken, I will end up dipping it in there, and usually on some white rice, something like that. But
Interesting.
I'm a sauce man, Dave.
Good to know.
So, anyways, make everybody hungry here. I'm
All right.
having
I guess it's making everyone laugh.
Kung Pao here. Kung Pao's good too, but it depends where you get it. Some can be really, really spicy. Some could be sweet. Some can be not so sweet. So it just depends. Anyways, Dave, I'm a Chinese food connoisseur. So
Nice.
I've got a whole new different channel where I travel the country.
Well, why don't you just put it on this channel, do a new playlist?
Why don't I just put it on here too? Huh? Listen, I don't even care at this point. I put everything here. I don't know. It's hard to start fresh, Dave. Anyways, moving on. They're Jim and Trevor, and from there, We can. I listen. There's not a whole lot that goes on during this.
You're right. Okay, so Jim is going to go and walk around for a little bit just to observe. And on the other side of this fence comes this girl. And it might be Mary Poppins in a younger state. We're not quite sure. She's got a parasol and she's doing ballet dancing. And so
it's weird, surreal,
oh yeah,
like dreamlike girl dance. Like David Lynch probably
it was
set
drug
the-
induced.
yeah, dancing around. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
So she goes, "Oh, Mr. West," and then she comes closer and she puts her face right up to the fence. Corinne says, "Come and see me. You know, she's waiting for you right over here. I'll take you to her."
Come up and sing sometime.
Yeah, and so he opens the door and he follows this girl that's dancing, and she goes around this one corner of this rock, and he does as well, and it's a trap door. Not really a trap door, but a trap ledge.
Yeah, it's a trapped ledge wooden plank that when he's on there, it falls. And can I talk about this part?
I'm gonna say one thing before you do.
Okay.
When they were walking through this jungle episode, all
Yeah.
I could think of is this is a set to Gilligan's Island.
Oh, yes, 100%, Dave. That's why I was saying it kind of goes straight to an island. Look, this is not Carson City. This is
Nope.
Gilligan's Island, like you said. Yeah. And how this circus came into town, and there was a perfect pond there ready for this was a crocodile that was in this pond. The alligators got this long points. This had a rounded point. It seemed smaller. It could have been a younger crocodile. But listen, Jim falls in the water. There's a crocodile in it. Okay. I'm going to say crocodile. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what's the difference? Crocodile.
I'm not going to correct you.
I did look at the snout very well, and they made it like a crocodile. So I say crocodile. Anyway,
WTF horror and sci-fi.
Sausage separate. That's true. Well, but we cook our food too, so animals don't. But yes, the sausage separated from the animal. That's pretty good. I like that. Alligator has rounded head. No. Well, the snout, the mouth of the alligator is more pointed. A crocodile has more of a rounded. Am I wrong, Dave? I don't think I'm wrong. Anyway,
I'm going with WTF horror if he's from Florida.
No, look that up while I talk about this scene because it'll take a minute. Okay, well, I will after when you start talking.
All right.
Crocs are longer. What?
This is such a small part of this episode.
I said it doesn't, but I tell you what, it's a big thing. Okay, so Jim falls in the pond. Thank goodness the pond was there for the circus, but the crocodile, I'm saying crocodile, comes over and starts to fight with Jim, and a battle ensues. Dave.
Oh, it's awesome.
With Jim and the crocodile, it is awesome. It's like Ed Wood and the octopus and the
I was actually thinking a very young Steven Spielberg probably saw this and was like, I bet I can do the same thing with the shark.
Yeah. But Jim's beating the crap out of a crocodile.
He is so badass.
It would never happen though, Dave.
No.
And he's fighting it, and they're twisting and they're turning, and he pulls out a knife and he stabs it and he kills it.
If they had this as a 2-hour episode, you would have seen him making boots out of that alligator, crocodile, whatever it is.
Boots. Okay. So you thought that was totally legit. He could
Yeah, it was legit. So he comes out of this pond, swamp, whatever you want to call it, Everglades, and in front of him is now I forgot her name, Janet.
Yes.
And Janet's got her pet lion, and she's all, well, this is a little undignified. What's going on? And he's all, blah, blah, blah. I'm all wet. She goes, well, we want to have you join us for dinner. And so he goes, I'm all wet. And she goes, why don't you come back to my boudoir and you can change into some fresh clothes? Because I just happen to have a set of men's clothes made entirely out of silk here waiting for you to put them on.
Yeah, he was really jazzed up with his outfit, right? The silk belt and everything.
Oh, totally.
I guess being in a circus, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I still think it's a crocodile. I saw pictures of it, but anyway.
Leave what you think in the comments down below.
Yeah. Alligators have blunt snouts. Yeah, but they have blunt snouts, but longer. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm over it already. So yeah, she's dressing him up in this silk outfit, and they're going to have dinner with, like you said, some African prince or something like that. I don't know.
Yes, he is.
Where he's going to sell
Vanoma.
Okay.
Played by Joe Faluler.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he played in a lot of westerns back in the day. So he was an alligator wrestler.
He was.
And they had him just jump in and play a role.
127 times according to IMDb.
Wow. So yeah, so I think what's funny is they're sitting at the table.
They did. I will tell you, Janet and him did make out as they were getting ready to go over to have dinner.
Oh yeah, there was a scene that it got real steamy.
Oh
like,
yeah. That's why there wasn't any wrinkles on that shirt. Because it was steamed.
I told you she gets real close.
Right there.
Yeah. And I'm like going, Jim probably after the scene was done and the night was done, and he's like, yeah, you want to go for a drink? I mean, he probably had a nightcap.
I would expect.
I would too. So yeah, they're all there. They're sitting at the table. And I think who's sitting? It's Corinne is sitting with him next to him.
So
right?
we got Corinne. We've got Janet. We've got but Janet is now like leaning against Robert Loggia.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a whole array of women behind carrying plates of food. I mean, it's right out of Dante's Seventh Level of Hell. And you've got this clown. So you've got a clown, and he is made up, as we had already talked about, really, really well. It's not just like, hey, I got a red nose and white face. This was an intricately created clown, and Artemis plays the role perfectly.
As soon as he did enter, I noticed it was Artemis right away. Because that actor, he has that look to his face, and but the outfit, the makeup, everything, I mean, done so well. Like, I would plop him out and put him in a horror movie for clowns, like right now. Like that would work. Him, some crazy clown that, so good. Hey there, Harry Scott. Good to see you. And of course, WTF's this close talker. Dave, I think we've had 5 Seinfeld references already. I mean,
well, I'm going for 7.
Yeah, it's just every day. I don't know. But yeah, they're all sitting around. Artemis is doing his thing, and he comes up and he whispers to Jim. He goes, when you hear the loud noise, we can escape or something like that.
Right. He's already got it planned out.
But he also asked Janet Coburn earlier. He goes, he basically says she says the plates are here, or Corinne says it. Corinne says the plates are here in the tent, which right next to them in probably Trevor's room.
And actually, that one of the things when they were fighting the alligator, they heard that mechanical printing process.
Yes.
So the tent is actually out in the wilderness preserve.
Yes, actually, throughout, once they hit that circus, you're constantly hearing that noise, and they're like, what is that noise? Even Jim asked, like, what is that noise? Yeah,
And
I agree, John Victor.
And John Victor, anytime you see Ross Martin playing the violin in the Wild Wild West, he is really playing it. He was
Yep.
a concert level violinist.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Well, I was going to try to do a Seinfeld reference, but there was nothing coming.
J.B. that says only 5. So sorry, so low. LOL. So yeah, so he's going to, and I don't know how Trevor didn't know. Why is there a clown in here? He's not one of my usual guys. What's
I'm
going on?
surprised about that too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously it's really tied in with all his circus performers. Then there's this weird clown that's like, hey, what do? You call up the agency? We need a clown because we've got this land that we're trying to buy in Africa from this African chief who didn't want to sell it to France, who gets to name his own price. So they're all like, how much are you going to sell this for? 10 million? 20 million? And the guy like takes a drink and he's all, give me 50 million. And Robert Logis goes, no problem. 50 million.
I thought it was 1,000, but that's all right.
Oh, no. 50 million.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
That's what they were saying. And like, how are you going to do this to take all this money out of your country? And he's all, let me worry about that.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. So as they're doing that, the clown starts doing his little thing. He's hopping back and forth. And that's when Trevor starts to go, what is going on here? And he basically brings out these balls and he throws them, and there are bombs that go off. And Jim, Corinne, and Artemis cut through the next tent that's connected. And he's followed right back out with, Trevor has it covered. So they were right back in the room.
Janice all, why don't you go get them? And he's all, don't worry about it. And they just come right back in.
Yeah. Hey, Google user. Was the clown's name Joe Davola? Crazy Joe Davola. Oh my God. Pagliacci. Yeah. So they're back in there, and then what's going to end up happening is he's going to take all 3 of them and kill them. He's just like, off with them. We're going to kill them.
Yeah, but not just like kill them. We're going to make them struggle a little bit.
He's going to wrap them in animal skin.
Yeah.
It must be fresh animal skin.
Has to be.
Because as it dries, it's going to shrink so hard that you guys are going to suffocate.
And your eyeballs
are going to pop out. Oh my gosh.
Oh, gosh, good stuff. And I mean, to me, it would have just been like, really? You're going to put me in the sun? Just shoot me. I don't want to lay there in the sun.
Yeah, you're not worried about suffocating and being squished.
I just don't want that tan.
It's just the sun. Man, sunburn kills. I tell you, that is awful. I agree with you, Dave. Just, yeah.
And
Put me in the shade.
Corinne leans over and she's all, sorry, Mr. West. And he leans over, he goes, call me Jim.
Because he knows he's going to get out of there. He's superhuman.
100%. We got 3 more seasons of this.
But the thing, again, here's number 3 or 4. I forget. But there's in a lot of these shows and stuff, they put them to death, and they're, it's a prolonged agony of death and stuff like that. And they walk away.
Yeah.
They're just going to leave them there.
Yep.
It might take 6 hours. Let's just go. Might take overnight. I don't know. Let's go. They all leave him there. Yeah. So this gives Jim, the super powers he has. He's going to slide over and roll over to a pole on the corner, flop down upside down, and his legs start to go up and down, right, cutting a rope that unleashes his skin.
It does. Yeah. Then he jumps back, gets them loose as well, and says, all right.
Wait, gets who loose? What?
Yeah. So
yeah,
they run over to the printing place area.
Well, he finds is it a knife? Because it's some kind of weird knife thing or something like that that's set up in the circus thing that they're on, and he uses that as he pulls it out, and he goes like this. He goes over to Corinne and he goes like this, and he just touches her. He doesn't. You don't see no cutting action or nothing. He just goes like that and then drops it, and then she's loose and he rips it. Yeah, I thought it's just no nothing to just concrete evidence everything in this episode. I don't know.
Right.
And he does the same to Artemis, and yeah, evidently this thing was really sharp. I don't know.
It was. We are at top of the hour.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Thumbs up check.
Yeah, let's get a thumbs up check. My guess is 40 something. 45. Yes, there we are. 45 thumbs up. Thank you very much. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do. Please comment. Yeah, check out Dave's link below to his channel and all that good stuff.
What are we doing next week?
Next week we are doing Art Bell, Ghost to Ghost Tooth, or no, Bob Lazar, I think. If I get enough time, either or. You're going to get Art Bell next week. It's either going to be Ghost or Bob Lazar, UFO and stuff like that. I think it's going to be Bob Lazar. I got a week to change the thumbnail, so it's going to be Bob Lazar next week. And yeah, then we got Kolchak and Columbo in the future. Our next Columbo is A Stitch in Time.
Awesome.
I mean, A Stitch in Crime.
Right. Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
And Francis again.
Yes. Good old Spock. He did quite a bit in the 70s other than Star Trek. So
he was very, very busy.
He was a busy man, yeah.
And a person I would have loved to have met.
Oh, me too. Yeah, without a doubt, man. Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Who did some old time radio of his own back in the 70s. Sears Radio Theater. And he would
go ahead.
Yeah.
He also had a record where he sang the Hobbit song, where he was Bilbo Baggins.
Yes, you can find that on YouTube. So yes. Leonard Nimoy sings Bilbo Baggins. Yes. I still need to watch UFO Scrapbook you did, Dino.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I haven't even touched on that. Again, yeah, I won't get into anything. I'm just doing what I want to do on the channel. That's basically it. I don't care.
Well, I think that'd be a good thing to bring up next week.
Yeah, I can look through some of those things as we talk about Bob Lazar. There's some interesting articles in there, that's for sure. Again, I'm just so shocked by what this person was digging into and looking at through the social. It's just amazing. And again, in a day and age where you got the actual report from the newspaper, you know what I mean? Like Kolchak writing up Kolchak, he didn't really actually write what he was supposed to, but these were actual accounts and stuff in newspapers that he cut out, put on there, and they can't be changed. You know what I mean? They're there forever. Anyways, let's figure this out. So yes, they go to, where are we at, Dave?
We've just escaped. We're now in the tent with the machine. That's
yes.
And
yes, they escape and run to the printing press area.
There's two henchmen.
Two henchmen.
And they get beat up by Ross Martin and Robert Conrad.
Yeah.
And I am amazed at how quickly they're able to work the machine to get the old plates off and everything.
Oh yeah, well they were instructed on the way it would, how to dislodge them and stuff.
They are trained professionals.
Yes, they are. Yes.
And then
and the colonel was showing him on the train, but they cut that out. Not enough time.
Oh, good to know.
That's why we get no train scene. But
that's why people should listen to this broadcast.
Bob Lazar went to the same high school as the doctor. The doctor, are you? Did you change your name? Are you the doctor from a couple years ago on the channel? Let me know, or because I didn't check your channel or nothing like that, but I'm curious. Anyways, okay, so yeah, I think it's funny that they dislodge the plates and all that, and Artemis says he's going to stay behind and burn all the money.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it.
I think, well, I'm not going to say it's legit money because it's probably not the right paper either.
Correct.
Unless they got their hands on the kind of paper they
That's a good point that you bring up.
Yeah, because, I don't know how, this is the good stuff. Remember the honeymooners? He said, yeah, these are the good bills. This is on the bad stuff. Anyways, funny money, Dave. You like the honeymooners, right?
Sure.
No?
I've never watched the honeymooners.
Oh, God, okay, we won't dwell on that. Let's just move on. He tells Jim to leave. Go, I got him. But he ends up he's wrong. He gets beat up by these two henchmen.
He does, but he is able to start a fire, burn all the money, and Robert Loggia and all the circus performers look, and sure enough, all their money is up in flames. But they do beat up Ross Martin, and they drag him back to the compound.
Yeah, and what ends up happening is they go to the gates, the main gates. Again, this is a circus? This is a circus? Yeah. But they're at the main gates, and Janet Coburn is there with the tiger. And Trevor was going to go after Jim with because they're on the run. Jim and Corin is on the run.
Right.
And for some reason, Janet Coburn all of a sudden is so attached to Jim that she says, no, and releases her tiger. And Trevor kills it.
Right.
Thus commences the dangerous game as Artemis and Coburn go to the cage.
Yes.
Take him to the cage.
Take him to the cage, which I'll bring that up later. And so we do have a very interesting hide and seek out in this Gilligan's Island Swamp Lagoon setup.
Yes, I agree. So they're running all about, just like the movie, The Dangerous Game, they're running all about it. Well, when they did take them to the cage, I thought, a cage with lions and tigers in it that are going to eat them or what? But no, it's just a cage.
Big cage.
Yeah, just a big cage. Even a scene where Corin falls down and rips her skirt like in the movie. It's just, I don't know. They were going for it.
That was pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to put some Macaracomb on there.
Yeah. Anyway, she is basically she tells Jim to look out, and the guy, I think somehow one of the henchmen is the holder of the bows or the arrows
and one of the henchmen jump off of right above Jim. And again, he's the same guy that clutches around his torso and is trying to crush him. And I love how Jim's running around with him and then falls right back, to break his back or whatever. And but eventually, like you said, Jim is going to come after him.
That's it. But he gets an arrow in the back as
the henchman does. Yeah.
Yeah, the henchman does as Trevor shoots him by accident. No love lost. He just bummer. So he basically, they get Corinne cornered. He's going to shoot Corinne, and then Jim West comes from him from above.
And thus a little fighting commences, and then Jim has him chase him. Go ahead, Dave.
I have a problem with this scene. If you watch it, it is a horrible body double for Robert Loggia. It is a totally different person.
Yeah.
And it's just that's not Robert Loggia.
Yeah. Yeah, he was young at this time. You would have thought he could, or at least they could have got a better body double. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will agree, as J.O.B. says, In Search of still works. You were talking to two In Search of fanatics on this channel. It is an amazing show. We absolutely love it. And
not only is it nostalgic, and you got Leonard Nimoy hosting it, you got all real paranormal things that actually are still topical to this day.
Yes.
So, you know,
Did you have a favorite In Search of episode?
it's been a while since I watched them, Dave, but I mean, the Bigfoot one always gets me, but yeah, I can't really off the top of my head.
I will tell you my favorites were the Loch Ness Monster,
That one stood out. I remember that very much
Haunted
so.
Castles,
Haunted Castles, yes.
King Tut,
Okay.
and there was the Coral Castle episode is good.
Definitely. Yes.
And there was one, and it's not on paranormal; it's on tsunamis. And there was, I guess, a recreation of a tsunami hitting Japan, and there's this guy on a bridge, and all you see him doing is going like that, and it cracks me up to this day.
The Nazca lines, Harry Scott says, yes. Those were definitely, which you can still see to these days, this day, of course. Coral Castle, which you can still see to this day down in Florida. This little man who moved giant stones in secret and everything. That is actually, when it comes to paranormal stories, the Coral Castle, just very okay. Yeah, we went way off. Let's end this with I mean, we're almost over anyways, but yeah.
Well, the culmination of the fight scene is that Jim West pushes Trevor into the
pond with another crocodile.
I thought there was only one, but obviously there were two, and that one is already pissed that his partner died.
Yeah, because it was literally the moment he fell in that water, the crocodile was waiting, and it killed him and pulled him down.
It was like a Pac-Man.
Yeah, I guess it was like 20 feet deep too. I don't know, something like that.
Something like that, and he was just
and killed him. And I'm like going, my God, Trevor, one of the greatest game hunters around, and he falls into the water, immediately dies. Jim, on the other hand, you know, James West from the Wild Wild West, he could be a superhero.
He is. At least he's one of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
There you go. At least. But yeah, he does that. And I do love the very ending, how they, kind of jokingly, okay, so he's dead. They come back to the circus. There's nobody else around.
No, everyone else takes off.
Yeah.
Including the animal. Oh, no, excuse me. The elephant stays.
Yes, the little elephant's walking around the circus a little bit. Yeah, I need some lettuce. Anybody got hay?
Where is everybody?
But I love how the music gets comical.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it just starts to get, I don't know what that was, but it gets comical. And Corinne and Jim walk through where Artemis and Janet Coburn is caged.
Right.
And immediately when they walk in, Corinne's just like got a smile on her face. Like, she knows the scene. You know what I mean? That's coming up. Like, she's not, oh my God, we almost died. She's like, she's got a smile on her face. She's looking. And you notice over there that Artemis is having fun talking with Janet Coburn. Like,
oh yeah, he's trying to pick her up in the cage.
He's trying to pick her up in a cage. Death isn't coming. I know my buddy James West is going to come and save us, so don't worry about that. And he's trying to, pick her up, and she wants nothing to do with him, though. That's the thing that I felt bad about.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man, you guys are about ready to die. They should have, he should have been working that angle, Dave.
Uh-huh.
This may be our last few minutes on Earth. Come on, Janet. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. So
what's wrong with me is it's only 5 minutes. Wait, anyways.
Jim West goes over to the side of the tent where, of course, you have all your keys for your cages.
Yeah.
And he's all, oh, yeah, here's the circus cage. He grabs it, unlocks it, lets Janet out. and he is going to escort her and Corinne to feast on the leftover food from the meeting they just had. I don't know how long. I don't know what time of span. I hope someone put that in the refrigerator. Keep the food.
Well, yeah, that's true too. I mean, even if a couple hours went by, I mean, or whatever, I mean, that's gonna be bad.
If there's a salad in there, look out.
Yeah, E. coli, man. I mean, come on, salmonella. But I do like how he says, "Hey, for VR2WLZ, thank you for becoming a member. I do believe, yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up button." But he locks Artemis back in, and he goes, "Keep the women entertained a few minutes while he goes back and does
He's
whatever."
He's change into his regular suit.
Yeah. And so the girls are watching him, and he plucks a hairpin from Janet's hair and unlocks the lock pretty quickly. And she goes, "Oh, you could have done that the whole time." And that's the episode. It was quite funny.
Her quote was, "Why didn't you think of that 2 hours ago?"
Okay, yeah.
Her was, "I did."
Yeah, again, Artemis knew he would be saved, and yeah, he was trying to hit on her, but Janet came right out and right up to his face again. Close talker, you know what I mean? Right there.
Yeah, and the good news actually is,
And I was going to say, leave me alone. I'm going with Corinne.
Okay.
She's been through a lot, but go ahead, Dave.
I've lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
I remember. Corinne.
Okay. Yeah.
The good news is Corinne, out of all these people in the episode, is still with us today.
How old is she?
92.
92 years old, Corinne. Look at that. Good for her. Good for her.
I agree.
Yeah. She's she put up with a lot by Trevor, so she should live a long life. Good life. Oh wait, this was a TV show.
Yeah, and she wasn't in a whole lot of things. She was in, and I will tell you, this is a big Columbo episode. Not only do we have Francis Galesko,
she was in Columbo.
We have also Robert Loggia from the maitre d' or the club owner of the episode Now You See Him. Also Hugo, which is the guy who was carrying the arrows and the guy who would put his legs around Jim West. He was also in an episode of Columbo. Corinne only was in 12 episodes of TV shows. No, just TV,
Nice.
Yeah.
Hashtag Dino, it's pronounced Forever Two Wheels Motorcycles. Forever Two Wheels. Okay, I got you now. Forever Two Wheels. I'm going. If I forget that, I forget that. But hopefully, I remember that. Forever Two Wheels. Nice. Best. It's the best channel by far. Well, I'm glad you agree and believe that. Thank you. Listen, I'm just myself. I've been that way for 9 years. We have ups and we have downs. What was that about, Dave?
Hopefully we're not in a downtime right now.
Listen, people are starting Monday. You may get a different kind of thing going on here. Again, I'm building these Legos and building the Lego city and all that. And I do it for hours building these sets and stuff like you see in front of me, which is just about done. I did a test stream the other day, and I think that's the way I'm going to go. And I'm going to intermittently play some old time radio as I'm building the sets too. So that's where you may start ending up getting some of your late night old time radio stuff. Whether the overnight streams are every night, probably not. So starting Monday, it's going to probably be Monday through Friday that I'm sitting here for a few hours building, walking away, playing some old time radio, coming back, finishing things up. So there's going to be some changes starting Monday. So just letting you guys know who are here, the few that are here. So the other hundreds that show up on the overnights will be like, what's going on? What's going on? Where's the Old Time Radio Show? Well, there's a million of them out there. So
We've been doing this for 14 months now on Sundays.
yes, 14 months. Over a year, me and Dave.
Yep.
Hashtag Dino Dave.
That's right.
Sundays. There we go.
We should be trending on Twitter.
Well, I don't even see. I should be. Well, I do post on Twitter. I share it. Playing OTR while building Lego. Seriously, I'd be doing the same. Great, relaxing fun. J.O.Beta. Well, check it out. I mean, I did the stream I did a couple days ago. Building this. It was like a 3.5 hour stream. I'd say the first hour of it or so was just me talking, clicking, a little chill chat, relaxing and stuff. But then I think a couple hours into it, I said, oh, you know what? I'm going to go eat something. I'm going to just be right back, and I'm going to play an Old Time Radio. So I started ending up doing that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off talking a little bit, let you guys know what I'm building, what I'm doing, and then we're going to get into a little, maybe, putting some stuff together, and then get into some episodes. So I think that's how I'm going to do it from now on. Go ahead, Dave.
Speaking of horror movies,
Yes.
Connie just mentioned in the chat, I wanted to point out that Janet Coburn in this episode also played in Prom Night.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Enjoy your content. Thanks, bro. The doctor. Thank you. So yeah. Hopefully everybody sticks around. Things are always changing on this channel. Much love to each and every one of you, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode with me and Dave as usual, being goofballs. And well, me. Dave tries to keep it serious, but I can't. I throw him off. I take him down a treacherous path.
I would have been that A student had it not been for Dino.
Oh,
Hey, Dave, let's
boy.
go off campus for lunch. But I don't have a pass. It's okay.